beautiful people, this is Amin with another video that is about financial. In today's video, we're gonna learn the basics of the stock market. Would you believe me if I told you that it's easier to be a millionaire nowadays than back in the 80s or 90s, and that we could be one of the richest people in such a short period of time as the next 10 years? I do not want to make any guarantees for you guys because you have to make the guarantees for yourselves, but I want to show you some past statistics so that you could learn a lesson from it. Here are 3 stocks you could purchase with such a low investment as $10,000 back in 2008 to 2011 that could have made you a multi-millionaire by today. First, let's talk about Amazon. If you would have invested $10,000 into Amazon back on November 21st, 2008, that would have made you $923,000 in 2021. If you would invest $10,000 into Tesla back on August 23rd, 2011, that would have made you $1,375,800 in. Last but not least, if you would have invested $10,000 into Netflix back on September 2012, that would have made you $731,000 in 2021. Now we know for sure that we cannot go back into the past, but we could for sure learn a lot from it. We could talk about all night how 10 years went fast. Remember that 2012 was not that far ago. Now I want you to know that 2032 could be here faster than you think as well. So be prepared and invest now so you can collect the profit in 10 years. Remember, the decisions you make today will be paid off tomorrow. Now that you know what is possible, I want you to know how it's possible. When a company like DoorDash, Walmart or NIO believes in their business model and that they have a potential to grow, they tend to ask for money. Instead of asking money from a bank, they go ask the public like you and I for a partial return of their company. But they are not gonna knock at your door to invest into them. They're gonna reach you through online brokers. For instance, Robinhood, TD Ameritrade, or Webull. These online brokers are the middle guy that facilitate transactions between people. Why these companies goes to public instead of the banks, you may ask? Is that either the amount of money that these companies need is usually so large that most banks cannot even lend them, or the banks will charge them high fees. In order to avoid these companies follow a system that has been created a long time ago of a win-win potential investment between them, the company, and us, the normal individual. Do not forget that these companies would never force you to buy shares of their company, but they will give you logical reasons for why you should buy into them. So remember, you invest only in business that you think could grow. Now, I believe that there are 2 types of people that invest money in the stock market. The big corporations with billions and billions of dollars that are referred to institutional investors. Some examples of these institutional investors are Target, Best Buy, and GM. Or the normal individuals such as you and I, who has been given a chance to get into the market. We are called the retail investors. Your friends, your parents, and even yourself are some example of these retail investors. The stock market is the location where people called investors come together to exchange, to buy and sell pieces of companies. These pieces are termed or called shares. Now, the way we could buy and sell these shares of companies is referred to stock. It's through broker, as I said already. When a company goes to the public for money, they first give the broker an estimated price that these companies think their business worth. This is called the IPO, the initial public offer. The brokers show the price of the company and 2 sides with buyers versus sellers. The broker will match buyers and sellers for a small profit or fee. Understand that the price you are buying for a specific stock, the broker will look for another investor who is selling at that price. And when you are selling for a specific price, the broker will also look for another investors that will buy it. Know that these transactions take seconds and not days or minutes, so these brokers have millions and millions of investors that are involved with them. The price fluctuates up and down based on what people feel, whether they should buy the stock or sell it. Some investors will like and buy for the IPO price for potential growth in the future, while others will buy if the price goes lower. The way people make profit is the difference between what they sold for minus what they bought for times the shares quantity, which is equal to the equity. The equity is the amount of all the price you have at the moment The equity could be a positive or negative. You have to know what drives the stock market up or down. It's not just the value of the company, but also how investors feel about the specific company. That is why some people say that the stock market is mainly focused on profit before anything else, before even the economy. Nowadays, the CEO of a company is mainly paid on how well the stock is doing. The examples that I'm going to give you right now actually make me think for a while. In the 1960s, the average CEO made about 10 times more than the average worker. Around 2015, the average CEO made about not 20, not 50, nor 100, but 250 times more than the average employee. How is that possible? Because CEOs are paid different than their workers. They are paid based on stock growth, while the worker is paid based on their time. Before we go to the next step, I want you to know that our market cap is basically how much a specific market is worth. For example, if I say that Apple has a market cap of about $2 trillion, that literally means the Apple worth $2 trillion. Okay, now there are many big names that you have to know in the stock industry, and one of the biggest names is the NYSE, the New York Stock Exchange. The NYSE was founded on May 17, 1792, and is the largest stock exchange in the world with a market cap of more than $25 trillion. The NYSE, or the New York Stock Exchange, processes billions and billions of shares a day, and it has more than 2,800 companies that is involved with. That is why it's called the Big Board. The trade time of the New York Stock Exchange is from 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. New York time, and that is from Monday to Friday. 3 United States popular indices you also have to know are the NASDAQ, the S&P 500, and the Dow Jones. The NASDAQ was founded on February 8, 1971, mainly focused on the most fastest growing technology and software companies in the United States, such as Google, Apple, or Netflix. NASDAQ was created because it didn't like the way the NYSE handled the companies and wanted to be the future. So NASDAQ took a different path from the NYSE. It doesn't even have a physical location like the NYSE, but has a presence online. The NASDAQ is both a stock exchange like the NYSE, which means it is a location to exchange stocks or shares of companies, but also an index, which is a specific stock chosen by the best investors. There are thousands and thousands of companies that are in the stock market, and if you don't know which one will perform well, just pick an index. An index is a hand-picked good performing stocks you could invest in. So the NASDAQ is calculated in 2 different ways. First, when we're talking about the NASDAQ exchange, that makes it the second largest exchange with a market cap of $19 trillion, just behind the NYSE. But when we're talking about the NASDAQ index, it has a market cap of $26 billion. The S&P 500 are from all sectors of the economy. It consists of the 500 largest companies that are listed in the NASDAQ Stock Exchange and the New York Stock Exchange. Dow Jones was founded on May 26, 1896. It is also one of the most important stock market index. It consists of 30 largest US stocks that trades in the NYSE. Now, when you invest in the stock market, you could make a lot or lose money. So make sure to analyze the stocks you are picking and investing your money into. I will definitely gonna tell you in another video on how to know which one will perform good or bad. There are many different types of calculating and things to consider, such as the EPS, the business cycle, intrinsic value, PE ratio, PS ratio, PB ratio, book value growth, know when a company is undervalued or overvalued, and many more. Make sure you grab a pen and a paper. We are gonna go deep, guys. If you like this video, please make sure you do me a favor, like this video, and if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do it as well. The more you subscribe, the more we're gonna reach people, which means the more we help people learn how to invest. Thank you, guys. Have a wonderful day. See you next video. Peace.